Hello, my name is Sarah Seyler, and I am a sophomore at UNCG. Because of my trip to the Underground Railroad tree, I felt extremely inspired to write this poem. The trees sing to me. I listen. I feel its skin as I walk down the trail, the soil leaving marks on my shoes as I begin to take in the history. One slave ran into this forest to be free like the leaves. With her baby fighting illness and hunger, she was scared, but hopeful, continuing to the journey of freedom with uncertainty, but hope thriving in her heart.
The Guilford Woods project is a collaboration between the Honors College and the Medicinal Chemistry MC² project that Dr. Check leads. And what we're trying to do is push the boundaries by actually getting rid of the boundaries across disciplines and see what we can create together around a shared experience of the Guilford Woods and the Great Underground Railroad tree in particular. The Great Underground Railroad tree is a tulip poplar that's over 300 years old, and in some ways is a silent witness to the Underground Railroad.
I made the logo for the exhibit because I really like trees. When I was working on the logo, I was trying to think of something that would catch the eye easily but fairly represented the tree. And one of those things would be the leaf shape and the flower itself. It's mostly green and then like these little peaks of orange on it, almost red. They just catch your eye and they don't last for that long either. They're here one day and gone the next. Kind of like history in a way.
Today, someone takes me to the trail, and I learn to follow. Not making a sound, but opening my ears to it. At times, I slipped or lost my footing in the mud, but still persisted on, knowing that if I were a slave, my life would have been gone. And she advances on, not knowing when her last step will be, not knowing if her own daughter will be free, not knowing if she will be free. She wonders if taking the risk was worth it, the risk of freedom.
The woods, from a scientific perspective, is a really wonderful ecosystem, very diverse, and we're interested in making use of the molecules that these different organisms produce to potentially make new medicines.
Our lab particularly focused on bacterial infections. One in particular for me is methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, which is known as MRSA in layman terms. Our lab particularly focuses on how we could use things from nature or natural products to combat such diseases.
We collected the fungi samples from the Guilford forest, and we were extracting the fungus from inside the bark of the tree using a surface sterilization method. The purpose of extracting the fungus is because we are interested in the endophytes. We are taking the endophyte and we're going to extract all the metabolites from it, and we're going to take mass spectrometry data on the metabolites to see if there's any new compounds that could potentially be active against MRSA.
This project has really impacted the way I view the area of Greensboro, because a lot of times we don't talk about the things that happened 200 or 100 years ago, but it's all still very real and it's all still very there.
A lot of people that have travailed through the forest, they didn't necessarily know what the next day or next hour or minute would present them, but they had hope that they would someday be free from the oppression or from the struggles that they were facing. And that just further gave me hope to keep doing what I'm doing.
And when I see it, I stop and admire its stature, the Underground Railroad tree. But when she sees it, she stops and cries, "The tree to make me free." I look ahead and see another tree, but this time with a nail, and learn about its past. She feels for that tree, wraps her arm around the body of its bottom and slowly rises up until she finds that nail. And when my hand touches the nail, I know I'm in the right place of history. But when her arm hits the nail, she knows to go left.